A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once.
Welcome one and all, this is Blaezer RTW, hope you are good. Yep, you've guessed it. Oh, I got myself a fresh cup of tea. Let's rock and roll. So you can see it's a bridge battle. I'm with Spain, who is Icy Barry. It looks to me to be about 30k. It's definitely high money, but nothing from what I can tell it is actually fully upgraded. You know, got 9 experience drops. It's all sort of 6 and 7, so 30-40k, something like that. Matey boy's got basically a lot of bull warriors, some slingers, and I think he's got some the Scutari with some armoured bodyguards. I pretty much gone 6 cav. It looks to be no art, no Ellie, max 6 cav, I would have thought. And then I've got all urban cohorts, which are about gold. Our opponents are, Lampada, us Doom, something like that. Lampada of Doom, something like that. I'll just call him Lamp. And Samurai X. They're both SPQR. You'll notice that they've actually gone down the legionary cohort route. So they've got a few urban cohorts, but a lot of their units are legionary cohorts. The other guy, I think Lamp's gone urbans, and the other guy, Samurai's gone legionary cohorts. He's got a lot of archers as well, which he's flame arrowing. They're all, archery. I've got my guys in test 2 days, so the bull warriors are going to get pretty nailed by them. But we're quite happy to sit around here. Looks like this lot's possibly hidden, with the exception of maybe those 2 and that one. So I'm guessing they know that they're there. It looks like I've stretched some of my archers out and are going to go for their archers now. So what we'll do, just while it's in the preliminary part, is we'll just forward it on double for a minute while the skirmish takes place. We can keep an eye on it from here just to see if anything happens. You can see that my archers are going over. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. If you don't have them on guard mode and you target them and then they move back, they go onto the bridge and they get absolutely destroyed by the enemy archers because they're all condensed. So you have got to watch out for that. But it doesn't look to be too much going on apart from some skirmish fire. Anyway, yeah, I didn't really put this one up because it's going to be, up there with the all-time classics. But I don't seem to have, just from sort of flicking through what titles I've put, the vague gibberish of titles that I've put, there doesn't seem to be many, obviously, that say bridge battle. So the ones that do come up that are fairly interesting, I want to chuck them in there. And because this one's a high money, normally it's all CWB battles, but because this is a 2v2 on a bridge, high money with a large unit scale, I thought it was worth just chucking on because you don't get them too often. Looks like I'm moving across my infantry and a few of my cav now, so I don't know whether we're chatting to each other and saying something, but we might try and overload this flank. I would have thought there's probably something hiding in these woods here as well, probably is cav. Whether we sort of know that at the time, I do not know. So I don't know, did he get cleared out? Yeah, so his bull warriors got cleared out, and now my guys are in Testudo, and I've just got a couple of archers probably there taken out. They're not in Testudo now. Yeah, it doesn't completely stop archer fire, if you know what I mean. It just sort of slows it right down to casualties. So it looks like we're attempting to make our crossing. I'll keep the camera angle like that just for a minute. I know we'll probably see Matey's cav appear any second, I'm guessing, but at least we can keep it on most of the battle. We're not missing too much out. I'll probably keep, just because it's a long replay and it's not, there are certain tactics to bridge battles, but pretty much there's only so much you can do. But it looks like he's going to throw all his bull warriors in along with his Scutari. Looks like they are actually thinking there's something worth defending over here. Now, obviously, if you can get the second crossing point on either of these bridge maps, then that is invaluable. So we're actually going to commit even more men over. I'm going to bring a couple of units of urbans over just to supplement. I don't really know how good those bull warriors are compared to, I mean, obviously, compared to gold urbans or whatever's there, then that's something different. But yeah, I don't know whether for shit infantry they're actually good or not as far as they go. So it looks like they're getting destroyed anyway. One of them's going to rout. The morale's not going to be great because the general's right away back there. Really, the general should be here, though I know he would get archered, but take archer fire, but he's an armoured body Scot, so I think he gets 2 hit points. So my urbans are in there now anyway, giving a bit of that would have been how it would have been in the old days as well. I mean, they would have sent the mercenaries and the what do you call them, like the foreign army, I can't, what do you call them, I forgot the word, but they would have sent them in first anyway to take all the hit. And then if they would have retreated, they would have had the actual Roman soldiers behind them, so they couldn't retreat. So, unlucky, but, woe to the vanquished, or whatever was the bull guy saying. So he's not moving much of his cav. I haven't seen any of the Praetorian cav or any cav for this guy who was on this side, so I don't know whether he's actually doing it yet. But it looks like we've gone through the first row of infantry. So they're actually going to commit more men to the cause now. I mean, it's just, it is just a sort of bottleneck. I'm going to keep it like that just for a second. I'm actually going to bring my general over as well, just for a bit of moral encouragement. Yeah, I would have thought, ideally you would sit your general back, but he'll take archer fire. So I've got to watch it a little bit. I'm actually going to bring over some cav now and see if I can make wind. I don't think I'll get through that. If they were up and sort of in line with the beach, then I'd be tempted to try and get my cav through this way. So it wouldn't surprise me if we did see his cav turn up in a minute. So there's still nothing going on up in this top half, if you see what I mean, but we can keep an eye on pretty much everything. I'm pretty confident we're not missing anything out. Right. Looks like there is some action at the other end now, so I'm just going to press play. Just as I was taking a swig of my cup of tea then as well. And let's just pause this for a minute just so we can see what's happened. So yeah, Matey had all his cav in his bushes, which was pretty obvious now, whether it did at the time. All our guys are routing anyway. So that's bad news for us because they have got a lot of infantry and troops over that side, and I've got my general. Basically, both our generals could get taken out and the whole thing collapse on us any second now. It looks like they decided to push both sides. So what's he sending over? So he's sending over all his cav and his infantry over in one go. What's he leaving on the hill? A couple of legionaries and his archers. I think there's a few archers in there as well, is there? No, so he's just sent everything over. Now my guys have been depleted. I'm rushing to get out of Testudo, as you can see, and hem them in before they get over, which I've just about done. I need to get these two, and bring them and come in from the side now, and just, well, not from the side, but just so that all these guys are hemmed in, because that is beautiful. That it probably could have been a little bit better because he looks like he's going to get through on that side, but that's not too bad. I'm quite happy to bottle him up there. You can see all our guys are routing and getting chased off on this side. I don't know whether there's any more Spanish troops in the forest there. My general needs to GTFOUT. I think if that works. But these guys are hemmed in nicely. Do you notice my guys chucked all their peeler in first, and I just chucked them in the back anyway. But I'm reasonably happy there. Their cav's not going to be very effective. I've got 4, 5, 6 urbans in there, and they've got a few urbans and some cav. He's sending in a few generals, armoured body squad, I should say. Right, so they're sending everything over, which is just as we feared, and my general's going to take the big hit of it, which is just as we feared. Luckily for us, just as I feared, the Spanish general's going to get involved in war, which means he's probably going to die. But my general's actually doing quite well there, to be fair to it. really, this guy, these last two, one should have come over this side and bashed it in from this side, one should have come from that side, bashed it from that side. My cav is actually coming over now, so it could be the saviour. I probably should have kept two, put them in a diamond formation from here and just bash this lot from the side just to rout a few of them or to take them down. But I'm going to send everything I've got in there as it is, just because timing is of the essence, and I've just got to stop them being able to pull out. If all these troops start coming down the bottom of the screen here, then yeah, we're screwed. So I'm going to start splitting my cav. Up here, their units are still hemmed in. Matey Boy has brought his general unit down. He's still got a couple in Testudo. One of the SBQR generals got involved, and it wasn't the best idea for him. You can see this, it's not thinned out, but you can see the type of troops have thinned out. So there's not much cav left over here, and there's not much urbans left either. Looks like Matey Boy's cav's gone. This is where the bulk of their troops are now, so this is basically what it's all on for them. We've got some nice cav, and the two generals are here, which is quite important as well, because the other SPQ general is up this end. Oh, that general came back to me, but he's I was going to say he died, didn't he? But the unit came back. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's all going on down here. I'm just pushing everything I've got through that end there. Luckily, these guys are starting to rout, which is good for us. That's the bad thing about chucking archers in for melee. If they're rout, they're going to lower the morale of the troops next to them. Not that sort of highly upgraded urbans are going to mind too much, but yeah, just as a general rule of thumb, you know, little inches here and there matter. So it looks like I've surrounded the last couple of urbans, which is good, because although you get more in the legionary first and they got that extra morale bonus, the troops aren't actually as good, so it doesn't take long for the urbans to whittle them down to, you know, matching levels, and then suddenly the urbans just totally destroy them. So my cavs actually survived that pretty well, considering I just held them all in. Obviously I could have been a bit more graceful with it, took two off that way, took one off this way from the side, one from the back, and then two from this side, and probably done it in half the time. But you know, you live, you learn. Matey Boy's left all his cav in there. I wouldn't really advise leaving his general right there, but he's got quite a lot of troops left, so he's unlikely to get killed at this particular moment. These are legionary first cohorts as well that are backtracking, so that's not a good idea, because Matey Boy is going to chase him down. He looks like he's doing. Yeah, he's left two urban cohorts in Testudo. They could have really made a difference over here. If this one general would have been up against two urban cohorts and two of them, it could have been a lot more different. But anyway, now the tables have turned, and suddenly, rather than those two rushing over the river, we're rushing over the river. Let's go and have a look what happened at this end. So yeah, as feared for them, I've won. I've actually not lost too many from what I can see looking with my eyes from as it is. He's going to regroup across the bridge. I don't know, I'm guessing these guys have got peeler left, so I need to be a little bit careful. But as the momentum's with us, I like to, you know, chase him down, if you see what I mean. As the momentum's with him, keep him on the back foot. You give him a chance to, if I was rushing that over, he might not have a chance to set his peeler on or set these guys up right, but in the end he's going to have a chance to lay them all up nicely, get his peeler on, and my guys, by the time they get to him, are going to be halved. So over there, you see my general's just sticking in the back. He did well, to be fair, so he pretty much held that whole side on his own. So, you know, fair play to him. That's got to be, you know, he's up there with some of the best.
Soldiers, only frightened rabbits running from our men.
My cav has got over the back, and it's starting to hit these legionaries from the back and the side. General's coming over. I don't think I've sent any more infantry over. There's just slingers and that. And yeah, he's sort of sending them to us one at a time, if you see what I mean. So we're getting able to surround them. And I mean, you know, that's a pretty full urban cohort there. And that one, and he's got two legionaries. Let's have a look how he did over here. So yeah, I just sort of stood up and took it, basically. But it looks like some of them got a bit annoyed and just ran into it anyway. So yeah, Matey Boy, yeah, you know, he's just selected all of them and gone for this guy, which has played right into my hands, basically. Because now when I actually finally look at it, I'm probably looking at the cav over here at the minute and just left these guys on autopilot. Now this side looks like it's won. Those urbans didn't hold out too long because we'd surrounded them and had so many troops coming over. Now I just want to peel these guys off and lay them up just between the two generals there. And then I want to bring this guy round and sort of fan them in from this side, and then bring all my cav round, which they already are there, put them in a diamond and just go straight into the back of this lot, aiming for the front unit, and wham bam, thank you Sam. But it was pretty hectic, but we got there in the end. And you know, I made a sort of half comment about it a minute ago about that my general holding its side over here. But you know, he did at the end of the day. You know, you can't argue with that. He held long enough basically, and that their whole lot of legionaries, then those 4 units of legionaries and whatever else would have poured around. So you know, key moment. My cav's lining up, so I would have thought my urbans are going to go in any second now, hopefully, or are they just going to sit there and let their mates take it? They still got 27 left, mine. I mean, that's, you know, these are upgraded legionaries as well, so it's not like they're completely shit. But I'm actually doing what I should have done probably about 2 minutes ago now. I'm just going to go in, hem them in, and that should be pretty much all she wrote. Yeah, they've all routed. General's going to go any second. Still got quite a few troops, but he is surrounded and all his mates have left him. So he's going to die. My general's actually not finished. he's obviously one of them said something about his mum as he's walked off, and yeah, he's not happy about that. He's going to chase him down. They probably think he's some sort of monster after holding that whole side on his own, so we don't blame him. Yeah, we've done this side now. He's just his 1 unit left, which is dropping by quite a lot, and his 1 unit, a couple of units which are too late coming in. What's over here? These look like they're all archers. Oh, he has got some legion. See, I bought all my cav round and we've bought everything up here, but we've not chased them off the field. So whatever routed or whether we didn't beat them properly, I don't know. But saying that, these guys are actually fighting on pretty well. I thought they'd go, yeah, I need to either free up this guy or take this general out, which I would have thought was going to happen now. He's got 50 left, so he might rout if I catch him nicely. Which obviously I didn't, but took out 10 or so and surrounded them. Yeah, they're pretty tough, aren't they, actually, these legionaries? Not quite as weak as you would think. That's basically it. So I'm going to just keep it on double. My general's still, you know, not happy, so he's running off. This guy's left his unit there. Ah, there you go. That was the last one that did it. He's down. What has he got? He's got those urbans, basically, the urbans and the legionaries. So I'm just going to let it forward through for a minute, and we'll just keep an eye on what happens. I would have thought my cow's going to go and sort it out, and these guys are going to go and take out these guys. I don't know where my general's gone. Ah, he's up there, yeah. Yeah, I've noticed he's gone now, so I called him back from his, you know, revenge mission, as it were. So that's that last unit gone from this side, I believe. So we've completely cleaned out this side now, so that's good. And there's 1 unit halfway in the river, 1 unit here. He's not actually won that side, though, but it shouldn't take too long for us to deal with him. So I'm just going to keep it about there while I drink my cup of tea and we press forward. So I just realised I wasn't tripling through. Here he comes. The slingers are doing a lot. What have I got left there? Got some archers. Looks like they're going to quit, are they? Oh no, admitted defeat. thought he was gonna. I went through a few replays, and loads of them don't have the ending on where the host quits, which is quite annoying. Just because, you know, A, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't actually keep stats of how many battles you've won, so you know there's no win percentage to keep up. And B, you just miss out on the screen. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've not done too badly really. It just not, you know, correlates to whose army. He had a lot of legionary cohorts. This guy had a bit of I would call probably a better army. So because he had nearly 2,000 troops, I got just over 2,000 kills. This guy's got 980 and the rest routed off. So yeah, just something a bit different. I don't think there's many bridge battles on there. I don't tend to do them because they're a bit samey for my liking. But sometimes, you know, there's nothing else there. Same with sieges. Sieges are all right, and I did do quite a few at one stage, so there'll probably be a glut of them at one point. But then it's sort of like, you know, once you work out your tactics, you know, they just take ages because you've got to wait for alternately to set up at the beginning, and it's not really. Yeah, I'm too impatient for that. Right. Anyway, good game, guys. Good game to these three here. It was something different. See you later.